Group home riches is a great overview of what group homes are, how to get into it. It's the basic blocking and tackling of how to run a group home, right? Sober living riches is very specific to this niche of how to start and fill up a sober living home within 90 days.
You turn the whole house into bedrooms and you rent by the room. Anything like that is going to be, successful.
Number one, the one we're talking about today is what, Kim?
Senior housing.
Traditional real estate investing is dead. Robert Kiyosaki and Ken McElroy think this is the solution.
The number one investment in real estate.
Be sure to watch until the end to uncover just how lucrative this housing solution can be.
Do you have any additional resources in these properties, like maybe a dedicated supervisor, manager, or anything like that? Or do they just manage themselves still?
Yeah. It mostly manages itself. I think we've done a good job of putting a model together with, between cameras and kind of having resident leaders, people who could be our eyes and ears and just observers. They observe and
Mhm.
report what's going on. That's worked out really well. Most of our people, we just make sure they're good communicators. They'll text us. But I also have, and since my third home, I've had a manager who floats to all of my locations. So every day we have eyes on our homes by a manager, typically in the evening, because that's when people are home. Because, right, kids are at school during the day or at daycare. Um, People are out programming, going to outpatient treatment, or they're working during the day. But in the evening is when everyone comes together. So that's typically when my manager was kind of stopping by, making sure things were good. So we haven't had 24/7 on site, but I guess it's kind of the same idea of someone being there every day, just kind of checking in, making sure things are good, making sure that chores are being done. And, for us, sober living, drug testing people when necessary, or if we think there's something going on, stuff like that.
I'm sure you have a pretty well thought out and planned intake process for that. Sounds like you haven't really had many of the issues that people, even Andy, have worried about.
Yeah, well, so I started 6 homes or 5 homes in 12 months in 2021. My first 3 I started in 6 months. And so I cut my teeth really fast. I made every mistake possible, let the wrong people move in. I dealt with a ton of issues, but we learned from that. So because I squeezed it all into 6 months instead of 6 years, I learned a ton, and that meant everything after that was super smooth. So we put some systems in place, and from then on, like 99% of the headaches were proactively mitigated. Like we didn't have to worry about it because our processes made sure all that stuff didn't happen.
There's an art to that kind of stuff, reading the people and then getting management, especially if you're going to be doing like the additional services and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So folks in our school group, if you are interested in this, check out this post from Andrew. I would just do a search because he's constantly dropping gold in here. And I'm sure, do you cover this kind of demographic on the YouTube page?
We cover a lot. I will definitely make a video
Yeah.
covering how to house single parents and make
Hey, you
sure.
already did it. Before you go, why don't you tell the folks a little bit more about yourself, your channel, and kind of the consulting that you got going on?
Sure. We have a program called Sober Living Riches, which is not at all like group home riches. Group home riches is a great overview of what group homes are, how to get into it. It's the basic blocking and tackling of how to run a group home, right? Sober Living Riches is very specific to this niche of how to start and fill up a sober living home within 90 days. We do cover the real estate aspect. I've had a lot of real estate experience. So if you're looking to buy or lease a home, we cover that. But we also dive deep into um, corporate structure, setting up your LLC the right way to protect yourself. The basics. Who are the people that we house? Where are they coming from? Who do you need to connect with? We do provide you with a list of contacts. We have a nationwide list in over 100 counties now across the country with at least 50 contacts that you can get started right away. An email template, recorded phone calls so you can hear what it's like when I reach out in a new area. Literally step by step, everything you need, plus all the documents we use in our business. A weekly coaching call, so 90-minute weekly call to get all of your questions answered, and just a vibrant community of people actively running sober living homes. It is not uncommon in a 6 month period for someone in our community to start 2, 3, 4 sober living homes in their area. So we're super passionate about what we do, and it's been really cool to see the results. I used to say, I think on our first interview, we might have said I wanted to go from 7 to 70 homes. And what I realized was that's a whole lot of real estate. And honestly, I didn't need to do that. I just tripled my revenue in my existing homes. I'm good. My family is set, but I could help a lot more people across the country get started. And if they open homes, if we just helped 1,000 people open up homes, we'd probably end up creating 9 or 10,000 beds for people in need across the country, way bigger than anything I ever imagined. So that's why I pour into that community. And if anybody's interested, they can go to either my YouTube and learn more about it and more about sober living in general, or to soberlivingriches.com.
Beautiful.
Want to learn more about the future real estate? Sign up for your free training material at www.grouphomeriches.com.